Hey folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Weekly Movie News Podcast. This week's news brought to you by The Calm Before the Storm. Yes, it's a pretty quiet week actually, but the Cannes Film Festival lineup was announced, and people are talking like there's some good movies on the way there. Plus, Ryan Coogler's new movie, Sinners, is getting some real good reviews for this coming weekend. We'll see what Vincent Daly has to say about it next week. And we're coming off this past weekend's movie with Alex Garland, his new film, Warfare, which, just a little tease, I really quite liked it. So, although there's not much news this week, I think we're going to be getting some good movies coming our way here, finally, for 2025. So with that, just a few stories here for you. First, we have Robert Pattinson, who seems to be in line for Dune Messiah, the third Dune movie. It's not official yet, but it sounds like he's in talks to play Scytale, the main bad guy and master manipulator who Paul Atreides, or Timothée Chalamet, will have to face off against. You know, Pattinson's great. I'm genuinely excited for all his upcoming projects. All of those include a new movie he's coming out with Zendaya, a new movie he's coming out with Jennifer Lawrence, plus, of course, The Batman Part 2, which will be 2027, and he's cast in Nolan's upcoming Odyssey. And yeah, it would be great for him to be a main villain in Dune 3, too. Why not? Next up, some news on some new categories at the Oscars. Yes, the Academy Awards established a new category to award the film for Best Stunt Design. The award will start be given out in 2027, and in fact, next year, a new award for casting will also go into effect. So, of course, yes, we don't pay too much attention to the Oscars here, but, you know, honestly, I don't hate this. Stunt coordinators, the whole stunt team, stunt choreography, there's a lot of films that has a lot to do with. So, I think it's good that a good action film can kind of get its flowers. You know, Ryan Gosling was campaigning for it after he did Fall Guy. And of course, director of the John Wick series, Chad Stahelski, and Keanu Reeves had pushed for it as well and gave very strong endorsements to the new category. And sure, for next year, throw casting in there. You know, why not? What's another one? Over at Warner Brothers, looks like Beetlejuice stays alive and well, with Beetlejuice 3 being confirmed and on the docket. No other details yet for the project, but I guess we'll be seeing Beetlejuice sometime in the future. And well, there's just not that much more news today, like I said, so it was a quiet week. Most of the stories were about how Minecraft continues to have success at the theaters, so the only really thing I have here is, if you're a Ridley Scott fan, a 3-hour director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven will be getting a theatrical release in mid-May. And then some China news, and China and the China Film Association said that it would reduce the number of American-made films into the country with all the tariffs going on. So part of the Chinese association said this, quote, "We will follow market rules, respect the audience's choices, and moderately reduce the number of American films imported. China is the world's second largest film market. We have always adhered to a high level of opening up to the outside world, and will introduce more excellent films from the world to meet market demand," end quote. So we don't know what will open and what won't in China, you know, what will be accepted and not. I don't know if studios are sweating this right now. Overall, China doesn't add too much to most American-made films. There's only a certain number of franchises that China really makes a difference in. So probably people attached to Avatar 3 might be getting a little nervous if things don't cool down by the end of the year. But with that, folks, let's just jump into this weekend's box office already. So fifth for the weekend was a new movie called Drop, which made $7.5 million. Fourth was the newly released Warfare by Alex Garland. That made $8.3 million. Third for the weekend was The Amateur, starring Rami Malek and Lawrence Fishburne. That brought in $15 million. Second was The King of Kings, the animated Angel Studios movie. That raked in $19.1 million. And the big winner at the box office this past weekend was indeed a Minecraft movie. So for its second weekend here, it made $80.1 million. The total domestic right now sits at $281 and a worldwide total of $551 million. Coming up this Thursday, Vincent Daly will be watching, rating, and reviewing. So we have 3 theater films this week, folks. So we are covering a Minecraft movie directed by Jared Hess. Then we're doing The Amateur by James Hawes. And lastly, as I said earlier, we are covering Warfare, co-directed by Alex Garland and a former Navy SEAL, Ray Mendoza, who was actually part of the battle that the movie Warfare reenacts. So very excited to talk about that one. But that's it for your weekly movie news, folks. We'll leave you today with a quote from an actor, Robert Pattinson. In America, there is a channel called True TV, which is just reruns of Cops and World's Dumbest Criminals. I could watch that the entire day. And all right, folks, the Daily Ratings Weekly Movie News Podcast, that was it. See you on Thursday.